Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we support Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have even more awesome news to go over. So, like 5 minutes before yesterday's video went live, Treyarch decided to drop an absolute bombshell on us. I considered doing a video covering that news last night, but I wanted to wait and see if perhaps some proper gameplay was going to be revealed, but it's been nearly 24 hours, right? So I feel as though it's safe to say that they're saving the gameplay reveal for a later date. The big bombshell, of course, was the reveal of Nuketown in Black Ops 4. As you guys can see, things are going to be a lot different this year, with Nuketown being set in the snow in what appears to be Russia, but remember that Treyarch is known for their cryptic advertising. On the original tweet, they wrote this, which when translated from Russian to English, says, "Visit us again for the first time here," which is leading a lot of fans to speculate that Treyarch is maybe making some changes to the iconic Nuketown layout. I don't personally think that is going to happen. If you just look at the different Nuketowns we've had throughout history, whether it was in Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, or even Black Ops 3, they haven't really changed the layout whatsoever. They lowered the height of the boxes by the B flag in Domination, and they added walls in Black Ops 3, so we of course could wall run out of spawn, but aside from that, they haven't really messed with success, right? They've had pretty much the same layout for the map ever since 2010. I think the same is going to be true here in Black Ops 4, especially when you consider the fact that we have a bunch of other maps that are being remade, and those maps have the exact same layout, at least based on the trailers, as they did way back in the day. So I think Black Ops 4's Nuketown is going to be the same, but I think it's going to look a lot different. So the big question right now is, where exactly is Nuketown going to be located, and how is it actually going to look? Looking back at this image right here, it looks like it's going to be set in Russia, but keep in mind, they very specifically blurred out everything behind the sign. They don't want us to see anything behind there. They don't want us to have an idea of what the location is going to be. They don't want us to know what the buildings are going to look like or anything like that. And a lot of people just assume, of course, yeah, it's going to be in Russia based on the sign and based on the text from the tweet, but I wouldn't be so sure about that, right? Because if we go back to the original Black Ops, then we know that the first Nuketown was a nuclear test facility that was used by the United States during the Cold War, which they were waging against Russia, right? So it's entirely possible that this new Nuketown is going to be set in the United States and be another nuclear test facility that is designed to look like a snowy Russian town. Another possibility, and actually I think this is the most likely one, is that Nuketown is not going to be set in the United States or Russia, but rather the Ukraine near the Chernobyl nuclear incident. So like I mentioned earlier, Treyarch is known for their cryptic advertising, and a couple of days ago on Instagram, they revealed their partnership with Supra Footwear. In that post, they showed off the new Black Ops themed shoes alongside this hoodie, which has coordinates written on the side of it. If we pop these coordinates into Google Earth, we quickly find that the location on the hoodie is just west of Chernobyl, which is a location that does not fit any of the previously revealed multiplayer maps or even zombies maps, right? I guess it's possible that it has something to do with a DLC map that has not yet been revealed, or it may be tied to one of the specialist single-player missions or something like that, but I think we can all agree it's likely going to be the location of Nuketown. So if this turns out to be true, this is an absolutely incredible setting. You guys know me, I am a sucker for all the Chernobyl and Pripyat references that we find in the Modern Warfare series, so I think it's really awesome that Treyarch might be doing something similar to that here with Black Ops 4. Now, I'm sure the majority of you guys already know this, but just in case you don't, Nuketown is not going to be in Black Ops 4 at launch, but rather, it's going to be added to the game as a free content update in November, which means everybody will get access to it, though of course PlayStation 4 fans will have access to it 1 week before Xbox and PC fans. I imagine the gameplay trailer for Nuketown is going to be revealed at some point post-launch. I don't see them doing it pre-launch, but if they do decide to do that, and they do decide to give us one of those flyby trailers like they've been doing recently, I will definitely upload here to my channel, so stay tuned for more information. But moving away from Nuketown here for a second, let's go ahead and talk about the early release of Black Ops 4. In yesterday's video, we were left with a lot of questions in regards to exactly which stores were going to be doing an early release and whether or not digital downloads would be going live early on October 11th, though thankfully all of that has been clarified and we finally have all of our answers. So it's looking like all stores are going to be doing an early release, and digital copies of the game are going to be going live at 9 p.m. local time on on October 11th. Now, it's important to remember that physical copies are going to vary on a store-by-store basis, right? Some stores are going to do their early release at 9 p.m. local time. Other stores are going to be doing it at 7 p.m. local time. Some stores might be doing it at 6 p.m. local time. It's going to change on a store-by-store basis, so remember to call up your local store and see exactly when they're doing their early release of the game. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you decide to order the game straight from your console, the early release appears to be set for 9 p.m. local time on October 11th, though it's worth mentioning that not every system actually shows this, right? As you guys can see, it very clearly says 9 p.m. October 11th, but my console does not show that, right? My console shows midnight on October 12th. I'm not sure why it shows that. It may be an error with the UI, it may be a problem with the store, it may be because my console needs updated. I'm really not sure why mine shows midnight and other people's is showing 9 p.m., but suffice it to say, it really does seem like on both Xbox and PS4, the early release of Black Ops 4 is going to begin at 9 p.m. on October 11th, though as always, I'll keep you guys posted with more details as they become available, and if you guys could, down there in the comments, let me know what day your console says the game is going to release. Is it going to be at midnight on October 12th or 9 p.m. on October 11th? I would love to hear about that down there in the comment section below, though I also have to wonder, how bad are these servers going to be tomorrow night, right? Because last year was by far the worst launch we've had in Call of Duty in a very long time, and the reason why was because so many people were trying to play Call of Duty World War II at the exact same time. I wonder if the same thing is going to be happening this year, right? Because COD World War II had a ton of hype behind it, probably the most we've seen since Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 4 seems to have even more hype than that, so I have to wonder, are they going to have to bring back things like the server queue? Because that was freaking terrible last year. Who remembers last year with COD World War II? You would sign in, you'd try to play the multiplayer, and they would put you in a queue where you had to wait 5 or 10 minutes just to actually get into the multiplayer. We can't have that this time around, man. They really need to upgrade their servers for launch, which most of the time they don't do, right? You look at any studio, any developer, they rarely ever upgrade their servers for the launch because they know it's going to cost them a lot of money, and they know that the issue itself is going to resolve over the course of the next couple of days. But in my opinion, they need to upgrade the servers for launch. It needs to be as smooth as humanly possible, because one of the things that helped kill off the hype for COD World War II was the fact that the game was super laggy and super buggy and could barely even be played during the launch window. It's one thing for a YouTuber like myself, right? Like, I can dedicate most of my time to playing the game. Not so much this week. This week's actually incredibly busy. If you guys don't know, my brother is getting married on October 13th, and I'm the best man, so I'm very busy this week and this weekend. It's going to be very difficult for me to make as much content as I want to make for Black Ops 4, but most of the time, as a YouTuber, I can dedicate most of my time to playing the game, right? But then you look at the average COD fan, they don't have all day to dedicate, right? Especially during the launch window. They have to go to work or go to bed or, God forbid, go outside and see the sunshine. They don't have all day to wait in a queue just to get into a super laggy server, right? So I suppose we are going to just have to wait and see how things are going to play out. But ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 48 hours away from the official launch of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and the hype is definitely building. Next up, I have a small zombies update that I would like to cover here on the channel. You guys know I don't usually comment on zombies news or zombies leaks or anything like that because I'm not really a zombies guy. I leave that to the zombies YouTubers, but I feel as though this is super important and something that I just really want to talk about. So, as you guys know, there are lots of people out there who have early copies of the game. As of this recording, mine has not yet come in today. Very concerned about that. It says it's going to be coming today, but who knows what's actually going to be here. But there's lots of other people who have an early copy of the game, right? And as a result, they've been playing zombies offline. Well, Treyarch revealed last night that the zombies Easter eggs aren't even in the game right now, and they will remain locked until 10 a.m. Pacific on October 12th. This covers all of the zombies maps that would be there at launch, including Voyage of Despair, 9, Blood of the Dead, and Classified. There have been a lot of controversies in regards to the zombies Easter egg hunts over the course of the past couple of years. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, even if you're not a big zombies fan. There are people out there who get early copies of the game, and they end up finding out a bunch of steps for the Easter egg before it officially comes out, and therefore they have a huge advantage over everybody else. And I actually think, in the case of COD World War II, didn't they figure out the entire Easter egg before the official launch? Like, I may be off with that one. Again, I don't follow zombies news incredibly closely, but I remember there was some sort of a big controversy involving that last year. So, all in all, I'm just happy about this. What an awesome decision by Treyarch. They have locked the entire Easter egg off. It's not available right now, and it's not going to be in the game until 10 a.m. Pacific on October 12th, which is pretty freaking incredible. Now, I have one final bit of news I would like to cover here in this video, guys. We've talked about multiplayer, we've talked about zombies. Let's talk about Blackout, because Treyarch has decided to reveal a heat map that they acquired during the Blackout beta. Now, of course, the darker darker areas on this map are going to be the locations where lots of kills and lots of action took place, and I think this is actually really interesting, right? Because at first glance, you're going to notice that the darker areas are the named locations that people like to drop to, right? Of course, you have hotspots like Firing Range and Estates and Rivertown and Asylum and Nuketown and spots like that, but you also have these other areas of the map that see a lot of action as well that aren't named locations. The quietest area of the map, of course, would be that giant desert south of Turbine, which lots of fans have speculated will be the site of several expansions as the game gets older. If you guys don't know, Treyarch has confirmed that the Blackout map is going to grow and evolve over time. They're going to be adding locations to the map as time goes on, and just eyeballing this map here and looking at where people like to go, I think there's a lot they can do to even out the map a little bit more. So a great example, like I mentioned, would be adding something to that desert area down there below Turbine, because as you guys can see, nobody ever actually goes down there unless the circle closes in. I had a couple of circles that closed in down there, and I hated it because it's just a big desert with windmills and rocks. Like, it's really freaking boring. I feel as though they are going to add something big down there, which will be pretty interesting. You have a big area there between the Hydro Dam, the Asylum, and the Graveyard up there in the mountains. I feel as though something might get added up there. You have the giant mountain area between the Hydro Dam, the train station, and the States. Like, I feel as though something's going to be added up there. You have the big water section there in the northwest section of the map. I mean, there's nothing really up there. You have the beach, which nobody goes to, and then you have the construction site, which no one goes to either, really. So I feel as though something's going to be added to the water out there. That seems like a prime location to add the map carrier from Black Ops 2. Of course, Hijacked is going to be thrown in there somewhere. They could potentially add something between the Lighthouse and Nuketown Islands. There's a lot they could potentially add to this map, and I personally cannot wait to see what Treyarch has in store for us. But ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much all I have for you guys here in this video. I want to apologize really quickly for the lack of super amazing and new gameplay in these recent videos, because I am completely and utterly out of gameplay from either one of the betas. Like, I got a new PC recently. A lot of you guys that follow me on Twitter know that, and on that PC, I only carried over a small bit of gameplay because I didn't think I would need to have a whole hard drive's worth of gameplay, but apparently I was wrong. Apparently I was mistaken. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, I will do my best to keep you guys posted with more news and more information up until the official launch of Black Ops 4, though I have to admit it's somewhat difficult to do that and predict this kind of stuff because Treyarch just keeps randomly revealing things and tossing out teasers at the strangest times of day. Like, yesterday, they revealed Nuketown at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They then revealed the Zombies update at 7:30 at night. Then they revealed the Blackout heat map at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. Like, you can't predict these people, and as a content creator, I'm always trying to strike the balance between quality content and fast content. I want to cover the news as soon as it's revealed, but do I spam your sub boxes with a bunch of 2-minute long videos as each new bit of information is revealed, or do I wait until a good amount of details and a good amount of information is revealed and then round them all up together in a video like this one? I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that down there in the comment section below, but until then, I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.